We are here talking latest Lions news for you folks today, and a lot popped up, at least for the world of the Detroit Lions. We're going to go through this, discuss the latest news, give you the thoughts going forward. Let's get this thing started. Now we're switching it up in Lions Nation Night. I'm super excited to switch it up to where it's not just me anymore on here. Any of the Lions Nation Night members can make content, live streams, videos. It's not just going to be you, it's going to be everybody. So you're going to want to hit that sub button. If you want to listen to the speakeasies, the Spenmo Racks, the Everything Kings Dose of Dion's, Anthony Roar to Lions UK, Dan Lions Talk Live, AG Spirit Detroit Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. We're going to have daily videos, and it's going to probably be 3 a day. I mean, with all the content creators that we got, you're going to get from everybody, and of course, Herman Moore. And I'm super excited. Hit that sub button, and we will get this thing rolling. And let's go ahead and jump into the latest Lions news here. And one of the questions is a video, but I'm not going to read it, but this makes sense. Where does the Detroit Lions roster rank compared to the rest of the NFL? Every time I get on ESPN radio, I get asked this question every single time that I go to the huge show in West Michigan is, where do you think the Detroit Lions roster ranks? And I always say the same thing. To me, it's a top 2 roster in the NFL. I think personally it's the number 1 roster in football. When you look at a roster, every team has got deficiencies. With that said, the Lions' deficiencies are not much at all, and the depth of this roster is absolutely bonkers. There's not much difference between, the starting corner compared to the backup corner, and same with linebacker and the defensive line. So when you have this and you have throughout an NFL season, you're going to have injured, your replacements got to pick up the slack, and the replacements for the Lions are not far off from the starters. That is great depth for this football team. So, look, I think it's a top 2. Let me know in the comment section. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you think it's the 3rd best roster in football or the 32nd. But throw it in the comment section. Where do you rank the Lions roster? I have it ranked number 1. And if that's a homer take, well, I'm just looking at the facts. I think it's not. I think they're legit a good roster. And that's what it's all about. Next here is Lions coach, and I agree with him, says that Amon-Ra St. not changed by money. There is not a Antwaan Randle, the Lions wide receivers coach. We all know who he is, what he did in the Super Bowl. He's 100% correct. There's not a single person believes when St. Brown got that contract that he's just going to stop. St. Brown is on a different level of greatness. He does his work ethic, not the way he plays. It is definitely different. His work ethic reminds me of Jerry Rice, where it's just constant. You're not the most, dynamic wide receiver in the world. There's things you're fastest enough or whatever. But when you have a work ethic like that, you're just great. And St. Brown is great. This guy he's greatness all over him. And he's not going to change with having millions of dollars. It's not. He still remembers all the wide receivers that was taken ahead of him. He still has a chip on his shoulder. And it's awesome. His mentality is great. There's not a single person think he's going to change at all. When you gave out the boatload of money, there is Penei Sewell and St. Brown. There's no one that thinks they're going to change. They'll play even harder. That's the type of mentality they got here in Detroit. St. Brown is a pro as pro, and Antwaan Randle is 100% correct. St. Brown, he's not going to change, except for he'll work even harder. I don't even know if that's humanly possible to work harder. And by the way, these are the blue glasses for computers. So if you're like, why is he wearing glasses? I just felt like wearing these today because I am around a computer a lot. So I know I don't need glasses. Okay, so let's go on here. Brian Branch may be the best pickup or draft pick for Brad Holmes, and that's saying a lot. Now, I don't know if he'll end up being the best one, but it is definitely a luck of the draw here because I remember seeing Brian Branch. He was a top 10 pick. A lot of people were talking about him being a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. 2 drafts ago, not this one in Detroit, but the one before. And he was a great corner. I remember watching him. I said, no, the Lions not going to take him at pick 6. Okay, they're not going to take him pick 6. And because I just assumed this guy was going to be a top 10 pick. I remember when we drafted him, I completely forgot he was even on the board. They said Brian Branch in the second round. I couldn't believe it. I just assumed he was off the board. I'm like, this dude's fell to the second round. He did. And from a value standpoint, maybe it is the best draft pick so far, Brad Holmes. I'm not going to say that right now, no, because it's just started. St. Brown right now to me is probably the best draft pick in the 4th round for what you got, like an all-pro wide receiver in round 4. That's the best bang for your buck. Brian Branch absolutely could be that, though. I mean, look what he did his rookie year. Just imagine what he's going to do 2 years from now. He can play all over the defense, linebacker, safety, corner. He can blitz. He can cut. Like, this dude is just really good. So he could be. Not right now. I don't say it is right now, but he absolutely could be. Right now, St. Brown, to me, is the best one. Who is your draft pick do you think is the best? Put it in the comments below. Let's continue on to the next one here in State of the Detroit Lions. Super Bowl window wide open after last season's breakthrough. Amon-Ra, I don't like Amon-Ra. I think he's terrible. So I'm not even going to read this article, even if it's good. I'm not a fan of Amon-Ra. I think he is an absolute homer. And I don't even know how this guy is a show. But this is correct. It's wide open. And Mike Greenberg stated a while ago that, the Lions window is over. That's baloney. It is not over. The Lions window just started, and I'm going to tell you why this is the case. First off, how is there's no timetable for closing a window when you have the ability to draft the way that we draft. We draft very, very well. And when you draft very, very well, this is what you get. You get a team that is consistently good because you're drafting talent, replacing talent. So if Brad Holmes continues to draft the way that he was drafting, it's always going to be wide open. How could it close? If you're constantly replacing talent with talent that's good, how is it going to close? You got to draft well to be a good team for many, many years because you're going to lose free agents. You're not going to be able to pay everybody, so you got to draft the replacements to come in here and do equal or better job for the team, and that's quite difficult, but Brad Holmes does it. He's great at the draft, so it's wide open. I'm not giving it a timetable. I'm not saying, well, it's 4 years, 3 years. I don't know. I think it's wide open every year. I think this team's going to be good for many, 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 many years as long as Brad Holmes is the GM of this football team. It's not going to close. Yeah, Jared Goff at some point is going to be old, and then he's not going to, he's going to be old, right? Then you just draft a new quarterback. They know how to find him. So you lose a player, then you just get another one. So the Lions' time is just absolutely wide open. And this team's going to be good for a long time. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to go out there and win Super Bowl. No, I'm saying we're going to be a perennial winner instead of being a perennial loser. There's look at the Steelers, right? It's not like they're winning the Super Bowl every year. They're just a good team every year. And I think that's what the Lions are going to be. They're going to be a good team every single year. And they're going to have opportunities to go to Super Bowls when you're constantly good. So, yeah, their window is absolutely open for quite some time. 3 players the Detroit Lions will not miss in 2024. I have not seen the players, but I see the picture, and that's Cam Sutton right there. So we'll see who do they got on this list. And the first one is C.J. Gardner-Johnson. We will not miss C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I don't know about that. The thing is he was injured predominantly throughout the season last year, so we didn't really experience probably the top end of what he can do. We do got good safeties, but I'm not going to say we're not going to miss him because he did have talent, right? He did have some talent, but again, we barely used him, so I can see why he's on this list. Not upset about it. Name a player who you'd think that we're not going to miss in the comments below. Next one here is Jonah Jackson. That's actually... Jonah Jackson was good, but he's always injured, and I agree. I think that we're not really going to miss him because we got Kevin Zeitler, who's going to be on the field, and the Lions are great depth at the offensive line. They drafted players. They got good depth right there, and yeah, I don't think they're going to miss him that much. Kevin Zeitler coming this year, and if they want to, he leaves after this year, they can elevate the draft pick up here or continue on, but I agree. Yeah, there's no reason to really miss him. See the last one, and it's going to be Cam Sutton, and I'm going to add another one to it. Cam Sutton, yeah, we're not going to miss him at all. Cam Sutton was a blip of the radar for the Lions season. We signed him 3 years. We released him after the incident, and I'm happy we released him because he didn't play well, and we don't need that. We can get better. So, yeah, 100%. We're not going to miss Cam Sutton at all. I don't think we're going to miss him at all. There's another player that we're not going to miss. That's Will Harris. Thank God he's not on this team anymore. Will Harris, we're not going to miss him. We're not going to miss Jason Kabinda, Romeo Aquara, Julian Aquara, Charles Harris. We're not missing any of those guys. So it's good that we're switching it up. Will we miss Josh Reynolds? That is the biggest question. Will we miss Josh Reynolds? That's really the only one that we don't have. So give me your thoughts in the comments below. What is a player we're not going to miss that was not on this list? Put that name in the comments below. Curious to see what you guys think. Again, hit that sub button. You're going to have different creators on here. Cannot wait to get that started and for us to roll it out. It's going to be here real soon. Subscribe. That's it, folks. Adios.